Yeah, my name's Shelley and I'm a recovering addict. I think me family were probably the ones who it affected the most. Even from a young age, like I was drinking from the age of like 12, 13, and I've become really abusive to them when I was drinking. I've stolen off my family. There's been physical altercations with me and my sister. For me, my addiction progressed really quickly, and by the time I was 16, I was homeless. I was injecting heroin and crack, and I think I did my first prison sentence when I was 16, and that's just how it carried on for me. I didn't really care about myself, and I didn't care about anyone else when I was using and drinking. All I was concerned about is where my next lot of drugs and alcohol was coming from, and I'd do anything to get them. Felt like it chipped away at my spirit, like every time I used. My health really suffered as well. Like I had cancer when I was using, but I didn't care. I was flat out using all the time. I went through chemo and radiation, and at that point I didn't really care whether I lived or died. Even people like my neighbours and stuff like that in flats that I had when I was living in London, be really abusive to them. They were basically living next door to a crack house, so there was users and dealers coming from the house at all times. Like, they didn't feel safe, they felt threatened. I just thought I liked using drugs, and I used to tell myself and other people that I'd stop when I wanted to, but I didn't want to, so that was my excuse not to get any help. But once I put that first drug in, it was even as a kid, like I knew I just wanted to feel like that all the time, because without drugs or drink I just didn't like how I felt. And some of the stuff that I've had to do to get drugs and alcohol as well, that's stuff I would never do when I was clean. Being assaulted and things like that, being in violent relationships, and just feeling like I didn't deserve any better. Like I thought that was all I was meant to be in life, really. Was a junkie or a crackhead. Didn't realise that there was a way out. And just knowing there's a better life for me out there, like I never thought like I'd have my family back in my life because of all like the damage I've caused them. The friendships that I've got now in recovery, going to college and going off to university, like that was just a pipe dream for me years ago, and I'm actually doing it, and I don't ever want to go back. And going to believers as well, just having that connection with God. Sometimes I might not be able to speak to my sponsor or someone at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, so like if my head's doing a number on us, so I'll just pray instead. And yeah, my life is just so much better being clean. Like, my worst day clean is still a million times better than my best day using. I suppose just to support them as best you can, and not shame them, because addiction can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter whether you're working class, middle class, doesn't matter what age or race you are, what job you've got, it can happen. Yeah, it can happen to anyone. My addiction does not define me.